Being a gallery owner, I think it's an incredible business model in itself because you don't have to buy a lot of inventory. It takes, considerable marketing, and the name of the game in having a gallery is location, and you really have to be on the best walking path.
How can you help us, though, continue to help you? First, please subscribe to the channel. Like us. If you listen to the audio version, leave us a 5-star review wherever you can. If you see our posts, please share those posts, share the content, and link back to our law firm website, which helps us to continue our SEO marketing and grow our firm and help small business owners. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the show. We have a unique show. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see James's talents. They are unbelievable. He's an unbelievable artist. So if you're listening, you're driving in your car, you can listen to us and hear what's going on. But make sure you get to our YouTube channel. You can see what all the spectacular work that he does. So, and he's our first artist I think we've ever had on the show. So that'll be cool, and learning at his business in Montana. So if you're listening on a directory, I did tell you to go to YouTube, but leave us a 5-star review. When you're on YouTube, subscribe, like the channel. And remember, as I always say, if you hear something that we talk about and you want to follow our advice, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. So if you're going to make business decisions or legal decisions or whatever, always consult with your local professionals before doing so. James, welcome to the show. I told you this is a first, right? First artist I think I've had. So,
yes, and I'm so excited to be here.
And this is not coast to coast, but you're up in Montana, right? So we're kind of far from each other.
Yes, yeah. It's still beautiful, though. It's not cold yet. We're still hitting the 80s every day, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah, there's no global warming. So,
yeah,
right. So why don't we get into your background, like how you got started? And, you had told me off the mic a little bit, but maybe you want to share all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I began doing art, drawing, painting in high school when I was a senior. And before that was doing music and acting, just creative stuff. But ultimately, I fell into art because I wanted to create a business where I could work for myself and create a product that I could, market and share with the world. And it's been an incredible journey, of course. And I think the passion for business came long before the passion for the artwork. And that was
to have like your own freedom to be able to have more control.
Yeah.
If you're doing acting or whatever, you're kind of at the whim of other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And both my parents owned their own jobs, and they had flexibility with their schedules. And I really appreciated that growing up as a child.
Sure.
And remember them telling me that if you own your own business, you can also create your own schedule. And I was like, I want to do that.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So it's always been in the back of my mind, and then trying to figure out, well, what's that one thing to make that happen?
Yeah.
Of course, I chose probably like the hardest thing.
Right. Well, you're very good at it. So did you always have a propensity to, I don't know if it's paint is the right word, or draw or whatever, when you were younger?
A little bit. Yeah. I drew here and there. I suppose as any normal child did, it wasn't something I really did a lot in my off time. But I do remember kids in school pointing out the drawings that I did and saying they were really good. But I just never really thought anything of it, and it wasn't really, I guess, a passion at that time.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you go to school? Did you go to, art school or
I did.
school?
I got a degree in art. I learned more of what I do now through just time and practice and some workshops with other artists, but mostly self-teaching.
Was there anything about business that was taught in art school? Did they teach these guys how to be? Not really, right? It's like law school.
Definitely not. Yeah. I probably should have taken some business classes, but again, all of that is learned through doing, but also listening to podcasts, business podcasts all day when I'm painting every day for the last decade. Well, since podcasts have been around, but also reading a lot of books, a lot of
Yeah.
business books.
Yeah. So when you went to art school, was it just an art school, or was it you got an art degree at a more broad based school?
Yeah, yeah, Montana State University.
Oh, God. So you could have taken some business courses or whatever because they were there.
Definitely. I did get my education in art education. I thought I was going to go into teaching.
Like an art
Um,
teacher. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but then just went into painting full time when I graduated because during those 4 years in college, I was painting in my dorm room and starting to produce work that I was selling.
Oh,
And in the summer, doing art shows and farmers markets. So by the time I graduated, I was bringing enough income that I could support myself into doing it full time.
I
And
got it. So you were already out selling stuff.
right, right. Yeah,
Was it
exactly.
all like, nature, wildlife?
Yeah, it was a lot of landscapes
Okay.
and not a lot of wildlife. They were pretty bad, I
That's
think,
in your
looking
opinion.
back.
That might not be in other people's opinion.
I couldn't paint a landscape very well, and the reason I paint wildlife now is
You're good at
I
it.
I stumbled upon that. Yeah, I was like, oh, I think I can paint an animal better than a mountain.
Right.
So there's some landscape in my paintings, but if you look closely, not a lot.
No. Well, why is that? Just you like have an eye for like the details of an animal instead of like landscape? It's just the way your brain
Yeah.
works. Is that
Yeah, yeah. I love capturing detail. And I think what makes a successful landscape painting is the ability to uh, uh, simplify that landscape into just shapes and color. And
okay?
so when you see it up close, you're not really even sure what you're looking at, but you step back and that landscape comes together into, a beautiful rendering without a lot of detail. And I think that's a successful painting of a landscape and not one that captures every single pine needle of the tree
Right.
and crag and crack in the rock, which
Yeah.
is what I try to do. But when you do that, it's just overdone.
As opposed to with animals, it isn't.
Right, right, exactly. I think that's my strength in the animals is when you look at it, like the bear behind me, for example,
Yeah.
you feel like you can pet it with your eyes, and you
Yeah.
want to
It's
reach
real.
out and feel the fur because
Yeah.
it just feels so alive,
Yeah.
and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously. Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so we'll look at your art a little bit later. But so
sure.
when it came to running your business, right? What
Mhm.
I mean, you said you read a lot and whatever, but what kind of advice did you get to start? Because look, I'm not an artist, but they don't teach us anything about running our own practice in law school.
That's
There was a book
true.
I remember. There was a book floating around, How to Start Your Own Law Practice, and people were like, "Why the hell would we do that? Went to law school and go get a job, work for a law firm." And it wasn't, that was like for people who couldn't get jobs, and now a lot of us are
Yeah.
working where we have our own practice, but we learned as we went. So what was that process for you?
A lot of it is doing,
Yeah.
simply doing, in the sense that I have a lot of ideas on how I want to market my work
Hmm.
and create revenue streams within the business. And I'll look at different models of how other businesses have done that
Hmm.
and try to incorporate that into the work that I do and in producing a product, and whether it's, prints, original paintings, but even art classes, both in person and online, or courses that people can access. Um, so a lot of different business models can be incorporated into what I do because essentially I'm creating a product as well.
Right.
It's a lot harder to mass produce,
Yeah.
like originals and stuff, but a lot of that can be replicated. And so and like opening galleries. I've owned galleries.
Yeah, you have a few galleries, right? Plus you sell at other
Yeah,
galleries. Yeah.
exactly. And what I found over the last decade of doing it is it all takes it's all distraction really from the easel. And
Yeah.
my most valuable time is spent at the easel creating new work.
Right.
And I've learned now to simplify a lot of those things and let go of a lot of those income streams I've built that really take more time than what they're really worth.
Right.
And but I like learning that, and that's by doing, right?
Right. Of
I
course.
can't. It's hard for me to take the advice where somebody says, "Don't do the art business course because you're going to make more money doing the painting." But then I see these other people who have like 10,000 students paying like $20 a month. And I'm like,
Right.
well, I could do that. But that's like all they're focused on. And that takes
Right.
a lot of work to get there.
It's a lot managed like little. Yeah. If you have a subscription service of something like that, it's much
Yeah.
better to have a higher priced item and a lot less people because the management of it is
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh.
You got
Yeah.
10,000 people at $20 a pop. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
It's
needs something. Yeah. It takes you away
right.
from what you're really good at.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where I've seen the most growth, not only for myself, but also in the business, is narrowing that range of focus.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's true for any industry. When you niche down and you become an expert at what it is
Hmm.
you do, and you learn to say, okay, well, that's the best use of my time. My marketing is going to be done by this person, and and the
Yeah.
classes will be taught by this person or whatever. Maybe their videos. So once the video's done, you're done. And I think that it sometimes that does take a while to learn to realize
Yes.
that because you want to learn everything and you want to kind of
Exactly.
understand how things work.
Yep. Yep. And
Yeah.
I love that. I love learning. And delegating has been a learning process for me as well. I've
It's hard.
had employees for almost a decade as well, but learning which areas are most important to delegate,
Right.
and that doesn't also require a lot of my time to manage.
Yeah. Right. Because
Um,
first of all, they may be better at it than you are when it comes to the marketing, right? That's not
yes, yeah,
like
that's
saying,
been
here, listen, I'll do the
delegated.
marketing, you do the painting. And they're like, we don't have
Yes,
paint. What are you kidding me?
exactly.
So you
Yeah.
gotta kind of let that go. So do you find that when it comes to the business, is there some sort of a like strategy, like business strategy when it comes to producing works of art? So do you do them in like a series? Do you have a formula as to how many prints you will do of a particular work? Because I'm sure it liquidates value at some point, right? I mean,
Right.
right? There's 14 million in
Yes.
one print. It doesn't really have any value to me. But if there's four of them, I might pay a lot of money, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a really important point of how I market my art, but also how I generate my ideas
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
When I'm thinking of a new painting idea, I'm also thinking how well it's going to sell in the marketplace as a print.
Hmm.
And some artists might push back against that and say, well, now you're being formulaic and not creative. But to me, I feel very creative and inspired by the art that I create. But I know I'm also producing something that needs to be interesting to people and generate income. So if
Right.
I'm coming up with an idea that I produce one original painting of, sure, I could sell that piece for, 20 grand or 15 or whatever, but I could still capture 1 to 200,000 in print sales from that image on the back end. And I keep it limited to either sets of 95 limited edition prints
Okay.
or 250 is usually my max.
Hmm.
And once those sell out, then I
That's
take
it.
that print off the market. Yeah, you can't buy it again.
Right.
So yeah, so there is a scarcity around it too, but that's where that 1 in 200 or more, whatever, of back end sales come in. So
Sure.
it's important to create an idea that has the ability to capture those additional sales over time.
Right, but still the person paying for it doesn't feel that they're going to be liquidated at some point because you released 10,000 prints of something you should
Yeah.
release 95.
Right. And sometimes like I'll really hit the mark on one and they'll sell out really fast. I'm like, dang, I should have done more. But, oh well.
Right. So I saw on your website, maybe we can share a little bit of stuff here. Wait, let me see. Screen. There you are. Okay. See if this works.
Mhm.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see that on your site you have North American wildlife, African wildlife, and you have a bunch of other stuff. So is
Yeah.
that kind of is that different techniques? Well, I guess the North American and the African is not, but the other things seem to be
Right.
different techniques, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The North American and African is the detailed work.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's just good to practice having looser style of work
Yeah.
and a piece that isn't labored over for a lot of time, but still has all the essence of a more detailed work. So I do also have a body of what I call loose paintings.
Okay.
This
So
needs not
that's
as
not as
detailed.
detailed as these are.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
So when you're doing a painting like the one on the screen,
Yeah.
how long? I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe I don't understand, but maybe, I mean, this must take weeks, or does it
Yeah.
only take hours? I don't know.
Yeah, usually like a couple weeks at most, a week to 2 weeks.
Well, is that of working on it on a regular basis, or is that because the creative process is that you have to kind of go back and step back and then go back to it, or I don't know.
Yeah. No, great question. I work on usually one piece at a time. So
Okay.
all my time and attention's going into that one piece. I feel like I can produce more work that way because I'm not jumping around even mentally between different pieces and trying to reset myself into that next piece, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had this image of your studio with like 6 easels, and you had like all
There
these
are people
boards,
that
and
do
you're
that. I
working on
don't know
different
how they do
animals. You
it.
got a bear here, and you're going around. And you go, you know what? I'm going to
I,
work on this now, and
that
it's
make me go crazy.
yeah, crazy, right?
Like it'd be like having puzzles and five puzzles out on the table, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put some pieces together in this
Yeah,
one. Oh, I'm going to go over and put some like.
I know. That's how I looked at it.
I
Yes,
know.
because I mean, some of the detail, like this one has. Well, the background, I see what you mean. It's not as detailed because it's supposed to be
Right.
drawing your attention to the front, but
Hmm.
I mean, the details in the animals are just like nuts. I mean, it looks
Thank
like a
you.
photograph. It really does.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what you're aiming for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real life type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. There are artists who paint more loose or abstract or have different interpretations on the wildlife, but
This
I
is yours.
think this is what I like to do. Yeah.
So this is
I
on
was telling.
canvas
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
and oil based. No?
Correct. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
That
What were
was
you
a
saying? You were saying something?
cheetah
Yeah.
photograph in Kenya. Yeah. I feel like my approach to detail is my way of capturing the aliveness of the animal that in some way infuses some sort of spirit that's now embodied within that animal in the painting that reads so much differently than a photograph.
Yeah.
And this is what other people tell me, and I have come to feel it and understand it too. But when you see the work in person, it's like it's there's something alive in it, and I feel like I can capture that best by all the detail and all the little hairs.
Yeah. So like the zebra painting.
Mhm.
Is it
Yeah.
from a photograph or is it
Yes,
you?
yeah, from actually a bunch of photographs of zebras that I took over several trips to Africa. And a lot of my ideas I create in my mind, and
Uh-huh.
then I use a whole bunch of different photos to rebuild what I'm imagining in Photoshop and create this idea, and that then becomes the reference that I use for bringing it to life on canvas.
Got it. So like a rough sketch of what you want it to look like and be laid out certain ways. So all these zebras weren't all standing together when
Right,
they was all kind
right.
of put together.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So when you just made me think of something. When the I'm curious about the business of like how you're running your business now, because you mentioned that you now have galleries. You didn't always, right?
Right.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and then how do you get into? I think some of them are on here, aren't they? How do you get into other like galleries? Here we go, galleries, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
They have been wonderful as opportunities for me to show and present my work in other markets. I'm from West Coast to East Coast in Florida, the Carolinas, up the coast, and same all the way through the desert up into Montana.
Right,
So it allows me to create a diversity in my work. If I wanted to paint herons or egrets and send those to Florida, I have that freedom to do so. And I think now, though, I'm at a point where it's nice to be approached by galleries rather than having to hunt down galleries and
right,
present your work and try and pick up representation. It's
right.
so much easier, obviously, when they come to you.
Of course.
Um, but it's crazy even for me to say this, but like I don't need another gallery or
It's good.
more of a location. It is good, and I feel very fortunate to be in that position.
Yeah.
But I haven't done art shows in a very long time. It's really hard for me to keep a gallery supplied with work because the kind of work that I do, I just do not create enough of a body of work that I can keep a gallery stocked with, 4 or 5 pieces at all times,
Right.
plus all the other galleries.
Right.
And same thing with a show. It's hard for me to hold back a whole body of work for this one event, and spend a whole year creating a body of work. I feel very fortunate to be able to create work that is, that people are interested in and that will typically purchase
Yeah.
uh, shortly after I create it.
Yeah.
And then I can move on to the next piece. And I know other artists need to rely on their galleries to find the buyers for them.
Right.
But I'll shop around a piece and then send it to a gallery.
So you're saying, oh, I see what you're saying. So you'll create a piece and then you will
Mhm.
present it to maybe several of your galleries that you think would be a good location and see if anybody bites while you're making it. Maybe you're getting your calendaring from one software and you're invoicing from another. Even it was a platform that we use as one of our sponsors to run our entire business. And there's other features like auto payments and integrations with QuickBooks. Visit evenue.com, EVONUE.com to learn more. There's also a link in the show notes. And be sure to tell them that the Accidental Entrepreneur referred you. This podcast is brought to you by our affiliate sponsor, iEmployee. iEmployee is a virtual assistant service that hires almost anyone for any role in your company right out of the Philippines. Most roles range from $7 to $9 an hour for highly skilled and experienced VAs. And whether you need an executive assistant, social media manager, video editor, customer service, sales, you name it, they have it. We use iEmployee for our VA services, from editing and promoting the podcast to all the PR and promotion of our law firm. iEmployee acts as a virtual field supervisor on the back end with live video monitoring and reports on a daily basis with screenshots of your VA's workday, and along with complete HR and payroll duties. No more paying for overpriced and underqualified workers. There's a link in the show notes to get a 1-week free trial, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. And it may be
Well,
done.
even that, well, actually, I just, through the last decade of running the business, I've been able to create such an incredible base of collectors and followers through social media that I'll present it to them first.
I got it. So so that's direct to consumer, because
Right, right.
realistic, wildlife or whatever. Right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Abstract type of stuff.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So because if you have a gallery, it's not that they're going to call up and say, James, we want to order 50 of this print and 300. You're going to have half a dozen pieces there. They're going to have to wait till the next one's available, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So how do you kind of manage that, like from a scaling point of view? It's not like you go out and you hire 3 other artists and they're going to make the same artwork that you do. It's just not going to happen.
I know.
They're relying on you.
Right. That's the whole name of the game is
Right.
scaling. I actually did have a great business mentor shift my perspective on my business and tell me your business is not producing original artwork for the business to, let me reframe it. My focus my focus is, I have right now, I'm sitting on like $9 million of inventory in prints. Said your job is to hire salespeople, whatever you need to do to find and sell that $9 million of inventory, because that's replenishable. Every time we create a new original painting, I can, create a new print of that or use that image to create even a different type of product. And so that's the business model that I need to execute on to really scale and not be worried about how many originals can I produce in a year.
Right.
Because that's limited by what I can produce, right? However, the print side of it, that's very scalable.
I got it. So once you produce a piece of work, there may be 100 or 250 prints that can be.
Yeah.
sold. Well, when you say you have 9 million of inventory, is that in your warehouse, or does that include what's out on the street?
That's just what I have available at the moment.
That doesn't include like what's in the gallery in Florida or your galleries in Montana or anything like that?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So those are all on, your galleries are your galleries, but the other ones are those consignment, or do they buy them wholesale and they sell them for whatever they want?
Both. Yeah. Some
both?
are consignment, some are wholesale. I just picked up a new wholesale gallery last week, and they actually just placed their order this morning, which was nice.
Nice. So they buy your paintings and then they mark them up.
Yep.
And they kind of take the risk. So do you have any input as to what the ultimate price is going to be?
Yes. Yeah. I encourage them to have the same pricing that I have, so it's all consistent.
Got it. So they're getting a discount as a wholesale because they're buying it up front as opposed to taking it on consignment and sharing in the fees.
Right. And I used to license out my work, and I've ended all my license agreements.
Meaning that they could reproduce the piece under the license.
And only on ones that were open edition, but I found that they really undercut my prices, which I probably shouldn't tell people, and so they'll go find them. But I don't know, either maybe they're printing them in China or something, and can't speak to the quality of it. So, because I do have people ask me, and they're like, "Well, why is it price different?" I'm like, "Well, I can't speak to the quality, only what I produce, which is here in Montana, and I've been working on trying to produce the best canvas print that I've come across, and the best product and that can last a lifetime. And plus, I have a lifetime guarantee. Like, somebody just even messaged me. This happens very rarely, but they're like, our painting fell off the wall because our like screw fell out and we got a little scratch in it. Like anything, like how to fix this? I was like, don't worry about it. I'll just send you a new one.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, because I want them to have
You
the
didn't do
best.
that. It's not like the painting peeled up. I could see.
I know, but for
That
me,
customer service is
it's
important.
loyalty.
Yeah,
I call them all my customers every time they place an order just to tell them thank you and put some humanity into it because I think how it today in the world it just as consuming it there's such a lack of humanity and I just want to know that I'm so thankful to all the people who choose to collect my work and that it
right.
means a lot to me
Yeah.
and buying a piece of art is an emotional experience and for a lot of people it's a lot of money in a big transaction and if I
Hey,
can ease their worries buying online a little bit by just telling them thank you from a phone
right.
call it's worth everything.
Well, you couldn't repair that painting?
Yeah, I could, yeah, but it's not worth my time.
It's better to just send them a new one. But that was a
Yeah.
print, right? So you're sending them a new
Yes.
print. You're not making an original artwork, as I'll say.
No, no. If it was original, I would
They just
take
say
it
send it
to.
back and
I have
we'll.
this guy who can, repair artwork, and
Yeah,
he's happy
right.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
painting stuff. It's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
exactly.
So, all right. So you answered the question about pricing. You answered the question about consignment and what your arrangement is. Does your industry work like? Do you have a written agreement that when you deal with a gallery, or is it not really
Yeah,
done in your industry? Yeah. They
yeah,
send you
yeah.
their agreement, or you send them your agreement.
Oh gosh, yeah. Their agreement. I don't know if I'm at the point where I can claim my own terms, but
No. Yeah, because they have their own terms that they want to do with all the artists they deal with, right?
yes,
They want to be
yes,
the same way. Yeah.
yeah. And it's pretty standard to do 50-50 consignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50-50
Mhm.
on the sale. So if it's
Yes.
they sell for $1,000, you keep 500, they keep 500. And
Right.
that would be the wholesale
Exactly.
price.
Yep.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, all right. Well, that makes sense, especially if you know what the kind of the industry standards are. You get a
Yeah.
contract, you know,
Yeah.
just make sure they
It's
have
never
people that
bothered
mind.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
people I hear different artists have different takes and they're like, "Oh, that seems like a lot." Or even just people in general when you tell them and they don't know anything about the art industry, they think, "Wow, 50%, that's so much."
right.
Like, yeah, but they have the prime real estate
Yeah,
on,
they have all the costs.
in Park City and they're paying so much in rent and doing all the marketing and I'm just happy to be in that location in that
Yeah,
space like I'd be glad to give them 50% if they were able to sell my art.
yeah. I mean, if that's the standard, there's some industries that it isn't. But you got to remember,
Yeah.
like you said, they're absorbing all of their expenses out of their
Mhm.
50%, which may be more than you,
Yeah.
right? Because you have canvas and I mean, there's no expense to your thoughts. So you just have to
Right.
create, I don't know. I don't know what other expenses you have. Paint,
Yeah, yeah.
canvas,
Well,
frames.
even being a gallery owner, I think it's an incredible business model in itself because you don't have to buy a lot of inventory.
Right. You mean consignment wise. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it takes considerable marketing, and the name of the game in having a gallery is location.
Of
I've
course.
learned that, and opening different galleries in different locations, and you really have to be on the best walking path.
Right. Because people see things, they're not going to, right. They're not going to seek you out.
Exactly.
If they see it,
Yep. But that
you know,
comes at a premium.
comes out of what?
A premium.
Yeah, of course. Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to be picking the right place. Now, I remember we talked last time before when we had a little preliminary chat was that you also do help other artists and you feature other artists in your galleries and stuff, right? Because you're not
Yeah. Yeah. I
just
love
a
it.
gallery, just your work, right? It's other
Right.
artists who pick and choose. So how do you kind of
Yeah.
find these people? How do you connect with them through the community?
Yeah. Yeah. When I see different artwork that I love that I think other people would really enjoy that's different from what we already have in the gallery, and maybe speaks to the pulse of the area and what people are interested in.
Okay.
Um, and a lot of it's very kind of intuitive, and just like I'll see it and I was like, I think that's going to do really well, and I'll invite them in, and sometimes they don't have enough work and I can't
Right.
get
You're a
them
younger
anything.
artist or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then other times artists, more often the artists approach me with a body of work and ask for representation. I feel bad because I don't often accept artists that way,
Right. You pick
because
and choose. Right.
yeah, it's often not art that I'm looking for and
Right.
representing.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
want a certain look, and you're not just a gallery owner. You're also an
Right.
artist. So
Right.
you're busy.
And it's you're curating a collection of work and an experience in the gallery, and there's types of work that just don't fit with the other work or the space or even the town itself.
Right. Yeah. And you're not doing the artist any favor if your gallery's attracting a certain kind of clientele and they're not going to be interested in whatever it is that they
Right.
choose. Right. So
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
mentor any young artists?
I try to. Yeah. Yeah. When I certainly enjoy it, and they've reached out to me over the years, and yeah, I love being able to help where I can when I can.
Do people from your program, when you were a student, do they know about you and your success? And did they say, hey, call James and go by his gallery?
Yeah. Well, I know that the university they've given me like outstanding entrepreneurs
Oh, okay.
awards and things like that. And yeah, and I know they've certainly recognized it, which is nice. There was one other artist that was in my class that I actually helped bring her online, and then she really exploded in the social media game. Her name's Rachel Pohl. She lives in Norway now, but she's
Okay.
the only other artist I think in my program that actually continued art after they
Yeah.
graduated.
Nice. Well, it's a hard business if
It
talent
is.
is subjective, right? It's not
Yes.
objective. So not everybody likes
Mhm.
your kind of work. Is unbelievably incredible your work is. Some people
Thank you.
don't
Thank
like
you.
animals, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
looking for other
No,
things.
it's so true. It's so true. I think as an artist, I've realized that it's back to that focus thing. It's so easy to look at what other artists are doing
Right.
and feel like, oh, I want to do what they're doing, or I want to paint like that, or gosh, they're doing so well, and different things, and just get all up in your head. And I've really had to stop looking at all that and just
Right.
really find what works best for me, and what I like to create, and understand that there'll be people out there who love what I do,
Yeah, of course.
and to stay true to that and not try to chase this, market, or what I think people will want, because
Right.
that's always steered me in the wrong direction.
Right. And then you're not producing the best work that you can produce.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't even check on the website. Are you in any galleries near me?
Gosh, I
New York?
was. I
Yeah.
was. I don't think I am anymore. I have a little house out on Long Island on the North Fork, and for a while I was in a gallery in Southampton. So I
Yeah,
think
sure.
that
Montauk,
would,
Southampton. Yeah.
yeah, would have been the closest to
Yeah.
you.
All right. Well, when you get here, I know some friends that have galleries, so maybe we can
Oh,
connect.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I send a lot of art to New York,
For
through
buyers, right?
online. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's always been such a great market for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your plan for the future? You're just going to keep painting and keep sending stuff out, or do you have a growth
Yeah,
plan, or what is it? I mean, they
I
gave you an award.
do.
It wasn't like greatest artist, which would be very nice. They give you a business award. So
I know, I know. I am under contract on a property here
okay,
that has a beautiful studio building that's already built with a bunch of land. It has a great. It also has like a house and stuff that I'll be able to live in, but like a road with private parking. But it's also zoned for both residential and business use.
got it.
And so I'll finally be able to have a space that I can bring people into and teach like painting workshops or just
Nice.
even, art classes, shows, different things where I feel like I can be more present to my collectors and fans and people who want to meet me or just see my work in person.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm really excited about. But it's just been so hard to find that kind of space,
yeah.
whether I build it or not.
This one
Most
you
of
don't
it
have to
because of the
build. You can just
zoning.
this one you right. The zoning's always a problem, right? You can't work and
Yeah,
live and parking.
yeah.
So is this is a built. This is a building that you maybe have to renovate, but you don't have to build the thing from the ground up.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. It has a 2 acre farm on it too.
Nice.
So
This is
be
in
able
where in
to
Montana?
here in Missoula.
Missoula. Okay. I've been
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Helena, and I think I've been to Boise. No, the
Okay,
Boise is in
cool.
Idaho, isn't it?
Yes,
I've
yes.
been. I've
But
been to
Helena's close.
Helena. Yeah,
Yeah,
we went
yeah.
fishing.
Oh,
In
nice.
yeah, northern Montana. The Bitterroot
Yeah.
Mountains. Is that Montana?
Yes, yeah, that's the mountains here in Missoula.
Oh yeah. So I've been there. Yeah, I've been
Okay, very
fly
cool.
fishing. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, it's the best for it.
yeah. Montana's big sky country, right? They call
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
So
So,
this facility though, that doesn't mean you're going to shut down one of the other galleries. Those are
yeah,
still.
those are still, yeah, yeah. But I have other people running those, and
Yeah,
I
you have managers
talk
and
to them once a week. Yeah, but
yeah,
this is where I'll be working every day, and then just continuing to grow the online print sales and the marketing. I have an agency that does all the marketing. They've been doing great, and I
they manage the
recently
website and all that stuff.
I still do that.
Oh,
Oh,
you
and my assistant does that.
okay?
But then I hired a videographer
Hmm.
who now captures all my content, photo,
Yeah,
video, and doing all the posting. And that's been amazing because that's something I should have hired 5 years ago and was
yeah,
very reluctant to because they just where I live now, it's my studio's a part of my house, so they would have to come into my house every
right,
day. And I've been there before where I've had like 3 employees in my house every day, and
right.
was like, I'm never doing that again. So
It's a lot, right?
yeah, yeah. So I finally, but it's like so nice to have this person. They're doing great work, capturing and everything,
Of
and
you working like behind the scenes type of like
oh yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
people like to relate to that. They want to see like what it
yes.
took to become whatever it is that they're buying. You know?
And it's the most important thing. I also changing framework and perspective on my business. I realize I'm building a brand more than
Hmm.
anything,
Yeah,
and the the success of a brand is who sees it
yeah,
and how you connect with your audience. And so I just need to get more eyes on the work.
right. Well,
And
it'll be easier
so
with this new place, right? You can set up
yes.
cameras
Oh
and
my gosh, it's so
yeah,
much easier, so
right.
much easier. So yeah, so essentially looking forward is how do I build and grow the brand and push marketing further.
The brand being James Corwin. That's the brand.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Got
Yep.
it. All right.
Yeah.
So, wait, let me jump back to where was it? The thing. So, if people want to, whoops, yeah, there we go. That's you. If people want to connect with you, obviously they can go to your website,
Hmm.
jamescorwin.com. They can see where the galleries are. They can see all the different artwork. I guess prints you can order right through the website, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you can even change the currency. You can order in rupees
I
if you want.
know, right? Yeah, I'm worldwide.
Right. Exactly. And then they can also contact you. Are you also you're on TikTok? You're on what,
Yes.
LinkedIn,
Yep. Yep.
Instagram,
Yep.
on all.
Facebook. Yeah,
Got
Facebook,
it.
all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any parting, wait, let me find you here. Any parting thoughts or advice for burgeoning artists, entrepreneurs out there?
Yes, yeah, for artists,
Yeah,
you
especially.
gotta, yeah, you gotta put the money into marketing.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. You
it's
can make the
everything.
nicest stuff and nobody knows about it.
Yes,
Just
it's
looking
so
at your own
true.
paintings. Right.
It's so true. It's incredibly important, and it has been very important and meaningful to my success as an artist, to reinvest what the business makes back into growing the business.
Right.
Um,
And you said
and
stay true to yourself. Like, don't be afraid to put it out
yeah,
there. If that's really the best work you do, you'll find your audience. But you got to put it out there
exactly.
because
Yes,
you can't
yeah.
find the audience.
And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time, and it's I know that kind of hustle isn't for everyone. So you can totally be satisfied going through the gallery route.
Yeah.
It might take a bit longer, but that's it works, and it has worked for most artists. Again, I'm passionate about the business, so I like the hustle and I like the growth, and I think that's why I'm at where I am at 34. But it's taken a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of painful learning lessons too.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you have to be willing to go through that
yeah.
and take those risks.
Right. But you wouldn't be able to do the kind of work you do and continue to grow and do that stuff without the success and getting out there and, getting people to, like you said, your community, to get people to follow you who like your kind of artwork, word of mouth. Somebody goes to their house and says, "Where did you get that?" "Oh, this is
Yeah,
James Corwin.
yeah.
I buy all of his stuff, whatever." And you get,
Yep.
but you got to be willing to, it's like when I first started the podcast, first of all, we didn't do video, right? So hearing myself was very
Sure.
painful. Like I didn't want to listen.
I
I wouldn't
still do
listen to
that.
it. I didn't like that. I got used to that. And then the video, I was like, ugh, I can't, I don't want to like see myself on video, whatever. And then, but
Yeah,
after you
yeah.
just get used to it, it's
Oh
okay,
yeah.
right? Everybody sees your stuff and it's
Exactly.
all good.
Exactly. Yep.
All
Yeah.
right. So what do you got in store for the weekend? Let's see. It's 3:50 here. So what is it? Noon there? 12?
Yeah, yeah, it is almost 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one. Oh, so you're only 2 hours behind me.
Yes, yep,
Oh,
yep.
okay. What do you got in store for the
Yeah.
weekend? You painting all
Well,
weekend?
I have a cardinal painting commission to do. So I have this little blank white canvas over here that I'm going to start working on this afternoon, and
Nice.
hopefully get finished up
Cardinals,
tomorrow.
you mean like the bird?
Yes, yep.
Very
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
will. Will we see the work behind the scenes on that, like on Instagram or TikTok or something?
Definitely. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
James,
I'll make sure to take
we're
some
definitely
pics.
going to keep. Let's stay in touch. I want to see your progress,
Absolutely.
and hopefully, maybe along the way, I'll meet some burgeoning artists, and I'll send them your way, and you
Yeah,
can give them
please
advice and
do.
help them along the way.
That'd be awesome. I
All right.
appreciate that.
Thanks so much, James.
Hey, thank you.
In addition to being a podcast host, I'm also a small business attorney, mostly providing legal services in New York and New Jersey. With over 3 decades of experience, we can handle most transactional issues. So if you're watching the show and you encounter some sort of legal issue, reach out to us and visit our website, beinhakerlaw.com. Thanks for tuning into the show and for continuing to support us.